Tekken 3 might be the best Tekken game of all time. I recently made a Tekken game tier list in which I ranked all of the Tekken games, where I put fan favorites like Tekken Tag 2 into garbage and Tekken 5 DR into deserved peak. I realized though that there isn't many truly bad Tekken games except like Tekken 4. Tekken 4 is genuinely worse than getting head from a girl with braces, your meat getting caught up in them, and having her wear you around her face like a labubu. And somehow that shit still ended up indecent. However, I realized that there were a lot of games that I have underrated, and one of them was Tekken 3. My opinion of Tekken 3 was just wrong, and here's why. But first, if you like Tekken content, if you like Street Fighter content, if you like fighting game content, remember to subscribe. I'm posting every other day. The videos are coming in, guys. Subscribe. Do it now. Do it now. Please, I have a family to feed, and let's get into this. On my tier list, I put Tekken 3 in amazing, which was the tier below peak, and I was wrong. My reasoning behind this was that Tekken 3 felt clunky, and it felt like this was first stage Tekken. So like, if Tekken was a Pokemon, Tekken 5 would have been like Charizard, and Tekken 3 would have been Charmander, right? If that makes any kind of sense. I said that the balancing was kind of fucked up, and I said basic mechanics like movement felt kind of stiff and clunky. I was wrong. I don't know what to say. The thing what I said about balancing is true. However, I don't think that we actually have a good gauge of balancing in this game, because back in the day, people didn't know how to use movement mechanics like Korean backdash. The thing with these older games is that movement is cracked. The distance you travel from just 2 Korean backdashes is massive. But Korean backdash was discovered in Tag 1, and even in a game like Tekken 4, where you look up pro gameplay from those games, dudes are still not utilizing Korean backdash in a way that they could be or should be doing. Like, the Korean backdash equivalent was this crackhead sidestep shit. Crazy as this sounds, I am fairly convinced that pros back in the day were simply not playing the game correctly. Of course, they didn't know that at the time. Korean backdash is technically an exploit, so it's not like dudes just weren't doing it as a choice. It just didn't exist for them. But what I'm saying mostly is that a lot of bullshit in Tekken 3 can simply be avoided with preemptive movement. I think tier lists for this game would look a lot different if this game was actually played today. Except, you know, Jin and Ogre, those guys are built different. I also said that sidestep in particular felt weird in this game, and I actually figured out what the issue was. Mashing up or down to get a sidestep will end up in giving you a jump or crouch, which is kind of weird, but it really just means your inputs just need to be clean, which is minor. But there was something else I just couldn't put my finger on until it dawned on me. It felt like I was a monkey taking my first steps when I realized this. There's no sidewalk in this game. And to be honest, sidewalk might have been a bad addition to Tekken. Hot take, hot take. Playing this game, you kind of realize that sidewalk kind of scrubby. It's kind of scrubby. I don't know, guys. Like, and it's weirder in this game as well, because I don't know if newer Tekken games have this, but in Tekken 3, sidestep is actually stronger the closer you are to your opponent. Like, if I sidestep at point blank here, I just outright have your back, and I'm bending my opponent over like a 6-foot goth girl, right? So I was just outright wrong entirely about this game, completely wrong. I don't know how it's even possible to make a game this good as your first real attempt at a 3D fighting game. Like, it's actually insane how good this game is. What I have come to realize as well is that I am a big fan of Tekken Tag 1, right? But everything I like about Tag 1 is literally in this game. Like, Tekken 3 genuinely just might be the best Tekken game. I don't know, guys. It might be. I've been playing arcade in this game, trying to get the characters, which by the way is something that's missing from the newer games. This gives people an actual reason to play offline modes whilst being rewarded for doing so. So people would at least somewhat stop complaining about the same old, I can only play ranked or player matches. Like, unlocking characters was never really that hard as well. You just clear arcade with a certain character and then you unlock another character. This also is a great way for new players to figure out which characters they like. This is like such a small thing that genuinely would make modern Tekken so much better in my opinion. But anyways, as I was saying, I've been playing arcade a lot and playing with a couple of friends on my old PS2. So I've really been able to check out these characters, and I've come to the realization that Tekken is actually a better game with mid-sized move lists and universal tools that actually do stuff. Tekken move lists in modern games are massively bloated. Kazuya is a character who is known to have a super basic move list, yet he still has 100 plus moves. And Kazuya is a character that literally clicks 5 moves. Tekken 3 is basically early development Tekken, so everyone's move lists are pretty average sized. Like Jin here, Jin has 22 moves on his move list. It's probably a little more though, because these games hide moves in the move list for some reason, but it's probably like under 30 moves. And it's not even like 30 moves that you will just use 5 of them. Like, all of these moves for the most part do something. This is, to me, when Tekken is at its best. When your focus is actually on playing Tekken and using the mechanics of Tekken, instead of always thinking about that random string that's actually horrible, that you haven't seen in months, and that you're about to get cheesed by. And before you guys say skill issue, no! Tekken is known for using unorthodox picks in tournaments, fam. Arslan Ash literally won an Evo with Katarina. Rangchu, whenever Panda is a good character, who is one of the most unorthodox characters in the franchise, Rangchu wins a lot. This isn't rocket science. I really do think that a big reason on why Street Fighter is so popular is because they follow this philosophy that I'm talking about. Everyone has a bunch of universal tools that all do something for everyone. Of course, some are better than others for the sake of individuality, but then the characters will have a few unique attacks and then their own supers to set them further apart. So it takes 30 minutes to lightly lab a character, so you don't die to their immediate bullshit that's actually bad once you lab them, so you can actually focus on playing Street Fighter. And Tekken 3 does this whether intentionally or it's just a case of circumstances being the first real Tekken game, and it thrives because of it. Harada once said that he thinks that Tekken is at its best when people don't know frames and stuff. I think the exact opposite. When a player knows exactly what a character can do, it opens up way more room for creativity because you're constantly trying to find a more optimal way to deal with certain situations, which in hand, people discover more things about character individual things. So the meta constantly changes and evolves. And it's just fun, right? Not knowing everything that your opponent can do just means that they can pull out some bullshit and you die for it. If I was to show Arslan Ash a 5-hit string with the 5th hit being a low launcher, Arslan Ash would get hit by that shit at least once because he's never seen it before. When people don't have knowledge of frames or whatever, dudes just lose to knowledge checks, not actual skill. A monkey could knowledge check a pro player who doesn't know the checks. Like, this logic is horrible to me. If Tekken 3 was played today and we had the same amount of data on it like we do a game like Tekken 8, it would probably be the best game, besides like DR, I guess. I mentioned before, probably twice now, that this game is bullshit. And as weird as it sounds, it kind of adds to the charm of this game. Like, having the threat of a pull death fist deleting half my health is exciting and fun to me. You can call me a masochist, it's perfectly fine. The prospect of being laser scraped for 70 damage is fun to me. I don't know, bro, like, it feels like everyone in this game has some degree of bullshit, so the game as a whole feels less bullshit and more fun. Also, with the smaller move lists, there's only a couple of real things that you really need to watch out for, right? And a lot of it, like I said, is alleviated with movement. Like, genuinely, if you don't want to hold a pull death fist, just backdash, bro, or use the strong sidestep in this game. Like, the bullshit in this game feels bullshit when it lands, if you get what I mean. Like in Tekken 8, I'll call like Anna bullshit, right? Because if Anna decides to click her bullshit, there is like a 100% chance that in the very best situation, I'm going to have to block it because everything in that game tracks. If Jin in Tekken 3 decides he's going to use his -11 on block hell sweep at range 2, I can fucking sidestep and blow the dude up. So despite all of the bullshit in this game, The game is still incredibly competitive. Even the moves that are bullshit in this game, you still have to work to get those moves off. So they don't even really ever end up feeling like bullshit a lot of the time. Like, I keep using Jin's Hell Sweep as an example because it's legit one of the dumbest balancing decisions like ever. But even if you hold this Hell Sweep in this game, right, there is so much nuance to Oki for both players. It never truly feels like either player is in a truly advantageous position. Obviously, the person who got the knockdown is at an advantage, but it's not like, alright, you sit there and you hold your damage like a good little boy, right? The defender can low get up kick, which is going to knock you down back. They can high get up kick to send you flying. They can do the little toe stub little thing. They can tech roll to both sides. They can get up, they can back roll, and it actually works. Unlike Tekken 8. So if the attacker actually holds something like a get up kick, they're actually at a disadvantage now and they are punished for their over aggression. Get up kicks in Tekken 8 don't do anything at the price of being safe. So basically, the attacker is never really at a disadvantage. You can very well just mash again because it's just a bit of frame advantage. You block the get up kick, you're still at an advantage. Don't even get me started on back row in Tekken 8. Tekken 3, like many older Tekkens, is just neutral heavy. It feels like a game where you return to neutral a lot, and neutral in Tekken is what we all like. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, after playing this game a lot more, I could genuinely glaze this roster infinitely. It's really starting to get that feeling that I have with DR. Tekken 3's roster is amazing. Everyone you like in Tekken is in this game. Anna, Heihachi, Lei, Nina, Paul, Yoshi, Brian, Dr. B, Eddie, Gon, Gunjack. But I don't think people actually like fucked with him, but whatever. Hwoarang when he actually looked cool. Jin, obviously. Julia when she looked cool. King, Law, Mokujin, Ogre, and True Ogre. This roster is so unbelievably goated. Just for the mere fact it has both ogres, fam. The offline content, arcade, Tekken Force, survival, time attack, team battle. How team battle isn't in any new Tekken game is beyond me. Harada is lying when he says dudes won't play that shit. I don't even care. Listen guys, this was more of a yap kind of video, but if you want a more in-depth Tekken 3 video, let me know. I'm still going to keep playing this. But yeah, if you like the video, remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that good shit. Until next time, guys. Boom, 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 boom.